Hi from London, Gareth here. You'll never guess what's happened now. A rogue driving a car has crashed into the front of Howtogetfluent Towers. Just look at this mess. This has got me thinking though, what do we do when we hit a brick wall with our language learning? That's the subject of today's quick tip. First, let's go in and get a coffee. Now, I always use this mocha pot at home. Some people say it sort of burns the coffee, but I think it's the nearest I can get to espresso until I've actually got a machine. So, hitting this brick wall, what do we do when that happens? How do we burst on through? I think it depends what sort of impasse we've actually reached. You know, if you're feeling just exhausted with your language learning, then I think take a step back. Maybe take a week when you don't do anything at all. Book a lesson for a week's time so that there's a definite end point and things don't drift. But just don't think about it at all, or else just engage in very, very passive exposure, listening to podcasts, watching YouTube videos. If you're already doing that, you may well find that you come back after that relatively short break feeling re-energized, that things flow much more easily than they have been doing. Sometimes the brain needs time just to let things keep fermenting and brewing under the surface. If the block that you've come to though has come because you're feeling jaded, you're working hard at the language, you're not particularly overwhelmed, you just don't seem to be making any progress. Now, if that happens, I'd say maybe one thing you could do would be to try doing something completely different. So if you normally do conversation, try do some writing with your teacher. Or perhaps, just start to talk about different topics from those that you normally discuss. Anything just to get you out of the rut. Because we do tend to, I think, over-practice in some areas and neglect others. For me, that was with writing. I put a lot of emphasis on speaking. My writing with my advanced German and Russian wasn't so good. So I had to switch to that. And when I did, I found there's a sort of feedback loop, because that then comes back into my speaking skills. So I think, just briefly, there are two things we can do when we hit a brick wall. First, look at, what the cause of it is. If it's just exhaustion, complete break's a good idea. If, however, it's some sort of plateau that you're trudging across, you've still got the energy, but you're not making progress, try doing something completely different. Has that been your experience so far? Have you perhaps hit a brick wall at the moment in your language learning, or have you got through one in the past, and how did you do it? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget too that you can subscribe to my free 5-part Discover How to Get Fluent video course. Please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. Like this video if you found it useful, and see you next time. Nakemin.